Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily, and I'm so excited that you are joining me today for the 5 under 5 DIY challenge. I have 5 autumn and fall themed DIYs for you today, and I'm so excited for you to see them. If you have a chance and you like what you see, I would love if you would consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, if you do like this video, it helps me out if you give it a great big thumbs up. But let's get started with our 5 DIYs. I got this cute charger plate at Hobby Lobby, so I think they run about $1.99. And I take this fall scrapbook paper and I am just pressing it onto the rim of the bottom of the charger, so on the back side. And this just gives me a little bit of a template, you can see there, so I know where to cut out for this circle. So I'm just going to cut this out, and this is going to be placed in the center of the charger. In my stash, I have this little bag of wooden shapes that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I just take 3 wooden ovals out of that, and I just paint them with the pumpkin color, all 3 of them. And then I also take a little craft stick and get a little end cut up to be kind of like my little stem to the pumpkin. I do go around the edges with some antiquing wax. This is more not necessarily to distress, although that is a added bonus. It's more to give some definition to each of these little ovals, so when I glue them together, you can kind of see the definition of all 3 pieces. This is going to make up a little pumpkin, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. You can see what I'm doing here on those 2 pieces, and then I put that middle piece in. While the glue is still warm, I do kind of ply them around to make sure they get the shape that I want. Then I'm just going to glue my little stem that I painted green there on the back side. And then on the front of the charger, I do just use some Mod Podge here, and I go all the way around, and I do just place my paper in with the Mod Podge. I do put a little bit of the Mod Podge on the back of the paper to help give it a bond, a good bond. I have had pretty good luck with the Mod Podge and doing this technique right here. I know a lot of different DIYers have had a lot of trouble with it. I swear by my Mod Podge roller. I will put the link in my description box for this, but I feel that that really helps. It will push out the excess Mod Podge, and I just take a baby wipe and kind of go around the edge there, as you can see, to clear off any excess there. So then we have this cute little pumpkin, and I'm just going to make a little twine bow to go at the top of it. And so I just do that by wrapping the twine around my fingers and then taking another piece and tying it around the middle to tie it off and give that bow some cute little tails. In my thrift store finds, I have this little leaf off of another pumpkin that I had found that I thought would be really cute to add to this. You could easily cut a leaf out of scrapbook paper or skip this completely, but I thought it was just a little detail that was kind of fun. So I do glue that on along with that twine bow to give my pumpkin a little bit more embellishment, and I just think that this really kind of sets it off. So I do just carefully glue that bow on there, and then I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back of the pumpkin, and you can see what I do here. It's not rocket science. Look at how cute it is. I just love this. I think this is going to be so cute in my China hutch. So much fun. What do you guys think of this one? This little project is so cute and so fun, and I believe all of the items come from Dollar Tree. So I take this cute little pencil holder and I am giving it a really good coat of the antiquing wax. You can see that it wasn't going so well, so I finally decided to get serious and put quite a bit onto, I'm just using a baby wipe, and I put quite a bit on there to go over all sides and the edges. I love topiaries, and I'm making a cute little topiary with pumpkins. I think that is so fun, so farmhouse. So I don't know, do you guys like topiaries? Every chance I get that I can use them in my decorating, I'm loving. So again, I just go all over the edges and the side of this cute little pencil holder. I do take this little flower pick. Sorry, that took me a minute to come up with. This flower pick from Dollar Tree. I'm using it for the leaves, so you could use pretty much any type of floral pick that you have from Dollar Tree or Walmart or anywhere. And I'm just using a couple of leaves between each layer of the pumpkins. And some of these pumpkins came from like the little packages that you can find at Dollar Tree. Some of them were on like another floral pick that I had. and I'm just gluing a couple of leaves between each layer. Now you can kind of see what I did here with the leaves on that second layer. I wish I had offset them from the bottom layer a little bit more. It kind of bothers me a little bit now. I mean, it's okay, but if you want, maybe offset them a little bit. That way, as you put this at different angles, it kind of looks good from all different angles, if that makes sense. But I am taking leaves from the same floral pick, and I am just gluing them around the pencil holder. This is just going to give like a nice little bed of leaves there for our pumpkin topiary to rest on. And just hot glue, and then I'm just using my little spatula there to push down and make sure that those have a good firm hold. And then of course I'm just going to put a lot of hot glue around the bottom pumpkin, and I'll just set this right on top of that bed of leaves there. You could stop right here and it would be absolutely darling, but I do have one of these farmhouse calendars from Dollar Tree. So on the back side, I do just cut out this little sign that says fresh pumpkins, and I am going to use some glue stick and just glue this to the front of our cute little, what was a pencil holder but has now become a planter, and just glue that onto the front of that. Look how cute that looks. You could do any type of rub-on transfer, you could do any type of sticker or anything from your Cricut. Again, you could just leave it plain and it would be just fine. I do cover it with a little bit of decoupage to make sure that all of the edges are down good. It does seal that. And I think this is such a cute little decoration to have for fall time. This will take you all the way from the beginning of fall all the way through Thanksgiving. I think this is so fun. It's just like the perfect little piece to tuck into a little corner. What do you guys think of this one? Are you a topiary fan like I am? If you're new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. And if you've been here for a little bit, you know that every month I get together with my good friend Missi from Crafty Cove DIY, and we host the 5 Under 5 DIY Challenge. Guys, let me tell you, it can really be challenging to come up with 5 DIYs and then to make them each cost $5 or less. It definitely is a challenge. But I would like to welcome this month our co-host Shannon from Shannon's Crafty DIYs. Her link to her channel will be down in my description box, as well as a link to the playlist where you can see a bunch of other amazingly talented creators and their interpretation of farmhouse DIYs that are all 5 under 5. This is such a fun and simple project. So I am just taking this cute little pumpkin that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It is part of their fall line, which is currently on sale at the 40% off. So you can take advantage of that. I am taking just some scrapbook paper in a burlap print, so you can obviously customize this to anything that you would like. And I do cut that out, but I do cut the stem part off of the scrapbook paper because I want the stem part of the pumpkin itself to be what shows through. And then I am just using my regular glue stick, and I will cover the pumpkin completely, and I do go over the paper as well to make sure that it is covered all over. I do take my Mod Podge roller and I do go over it. Even though I did use my glue stick, I still feel that this helps create a really good bond between the paper and the pumpkin itself. And so I do smooth it out with that. And then I do take my emery board. You can use a sanding block, finger sander, sandpaper, anything that you've got. And in a downward motion, go ahead and make sure that you just get all of the edges of the paper off. It gives it a nice clean look. I do paint the stem with some green chalk paint there, so that way you've got your cute little burlap pumpkin and the little green stem showing through. Now it's time to embellish this pumpkin. So I take a stem of flowers that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to just use my wire cutters to cut each individual stem off. And I just kind of play around with the different leaves and the different twigs here and the pine cone and the sunflower, everything, to kind of get a good placement of how I want this. And then I just use my hot glue to stick it all down. So I'll kind of just let you watch me play around with this here and see how I do this. One trick that I have learned is I have purchased a couple of plungers from Dollar Tree, and I cut little teeny pieces of that off so I can use as stands on the back of my project. I never can find the Jenga blocks at my Dollar Tree, so this is kind of what I use in place of that. So whatever you have to make a little stand on the back to help it stand up completely. And then I do just take some antiquing wax on a brush. This is completely optional, but you know I have to distress things. So as a farmhouse girl, that's kind of my jam. So I just go all the way around the edges, and look at how cute this looks. I think this is so fun. I absolutely love this one. I love how this project turns out, so I hope that you do too. But I'm just taking some wheat that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I purchased 3 bundles of it. I did not end up using all 3. Buy it when it's on 50% off. There's no need to pay full price. If you happen to have access to any other type of grain, barley, wheat, triticale, anything like that, even like foxtail, something like weeds that grow on the side of the road, you can easily stop and pick some of those, or use anything that you have like that, any type of decorative grass you might have in your garden when you're ready to trim it down for the fall. Anyway, I'm just taking these, and what I'm doing is you just take any size of canister that you would like. I liked the square shape of this particular one, so that's why I chose this. And I cut these down to the size, the length that I want. And I just use some hot glue along the edge of the jar, and I just one by one take these and place them with the hot glue. It's so simple and so easy, and I love how this turns out. I would like to say that right now would be a really good point to add a couple of rocks to your jar that you're using to help give it a little bit of stability. You can add them later, but right now is the perfect time to add them. So after I get all of my pieces of wheat here, I want to make a little decorative bow. So I do take some of this chicken wire ribbon that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and be very careful with this. You should probably wear gloves when you use this. I have worked with chicken wire a few times and had sometimes not end so well. So I should have learned my lesson, but this went okay for me. I just used some wire cutters to cut it, and then I did just kind of wind on the back side of it. I just kind of wound the little loose edges together to do to get it to hold. And I did 2 layers of this because I'm going to put a ribbon around the middle where these 2 pieces join, if that makes sense. You'll see what I do here in just a moment. And I do apologize because my camera was being very finicky this day. So I do just take a piece of this ribbon and I just glue it all around. You can see how that covers the middle. And then I do make another bow out of this same ribbon that I did lose the footage for. Again, I do apologize for that, but you've seen me make some bows before. You can do whatever type of bow you want. And then I just glue that onto the front. And I did use another little black and cream ribbon to kind of embellish it a little more. But look at how cute this looks. I love this. I think this is going to be so fun. Kind of a good transition piece between summer and fall, in my opinion. This could even be something that you might leave out year-round in your house. What do you guys think of this one? If you guys are on Instagram, come find me over there. I'll leave a link down in my description box. I post a lot of the projects that I work on here, as well as other home decorating things. It would be a lot of fun to have you guys come and say hi to me over on Instagram. When I was at Hobby Lobby looking for some inspiration, I did find these cute little pumpkins that were there. And so I do have an idea that I want to try with this. So I do take this little bit of embellishment that they have on here, the leaf and this little sunflower on here. I do just remove those. I do end up using them again, and I do take this little hanging tag off of there. I did not want the blue on there. I have a very specific idea that I want to try. So I do cover this completely in white chalk paint, the front and all of the edges, just to make sure that it has a good coat of the white paint all over. So that way it just looks really good. So then I take this out into my garage, and I am going to drill several holes in this. I know this sounds a little bit odd, but just bear with me, watch what I do. So I do want to do my holes in pairs. So I need 4 holes in 3 different sections on each side. That does not make sense. I know when I say that, you're like, wait, what? So just watch what I do here. So I'm going to do, here we go, 12 holes on each side, if that makes sense here. But I'm doing them like one right next to the other. So this is what your pumpkin will look like once you get all of your holes drilled in. Now you could just leave it that white color. You could paint it any color you wanted. I chose this paper that looked like book, like pages out of a book. Again, I just trace this. I do cut the pumpkin stem off because I want to have control over the color of the pumpkin stem. And then I am just going to use my trusty old glue stick here, and I'm going to glue the scrapbook paper onto the front right over the holes that we just drilled in here. And I'm going to use my Mod Podge roller, which again is linked down in my description box, and then my emery board to go in a downward motion all around the edges of this to make sure that you have a really clean edge. I take a pencil and just poke through each of these holes so I know where the holes are. And then you can see what I do with the pencil. I can go through and clear those holes out, and that gives me that nice clean edge on them. I am going to put some Mod Podge over this to make sure that it stays down, make sure that through all of like the little holes and all of the edges and everything that they are firmly secure. And I do want it to kind of have a little bit of a glossy sheen. Now I just take some Dollar Tree rope and I unwind it and take one of the strands, and this is just like lacing cards, guys. Did you ever have those that you used to play with and sit and lace up all the cute little designs that they had on there? So I just put some painter's tape on the end, and I'm just going up and down through each of these holes. And you can watch how I go through and get this side completed. I just move right, don't stop or cut it off or anything. I just move right over to the next side, and I go in an up and down motion through that side too. Again, I apologize, my camera was being very finicky and I did lose some footage here. I think my storage was full. So I'm just showing you that I did glue a little piece of scrap wood on the back to help it stand up, and I did tie the rope off. And then I took that original embellishment that came on it and I just rewired that back on. I mean, it was literally like you put the wire around and twist tie it. I do take a little bit of antiquing wax and go around the edges. You can see I did paint the stem of the pumpkin with a green color there. I just think this was kind of a different take on something. I don't know, I thought it was really cute. I love the little rustic rope going through the holes on there. What do you guys think of this? It's a little bit different, but I actually really like how this turned out, and I'm so excited to combine all of my pumpkins together that I've made. I think this entire collection turned out so cute. I'm so excited to use this. I think that it is perfect transition into fall. Guys, I am such a summer person. I literally drag my heels or dig in my heels when it comes to decorating for fall because I don't want to say goodbye to summer. But these are honestly making me so excited. But really, you do kind of want to be on the lookout for different types of decoration and things because things sell out so fast. So I hope this gave you some inspiration for you to do your decorating with. I would love to know your favorite project down in the comments. And as always, remember to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.